evening, sir. Today's news media has been undergoing a drastic change because of independent journalism, like on blogs, updating stories online. People prefer to read news online rather than the traditional newspaper format. So what do you think about this phenomenon? Will this change make journalism better or worse?
Many of the traditional media organizations have fairly strong websites, not as good as they should be. We are not as good as what the New York Times or the Guardian or the Washington Post puts out. Or we are not sometimes as good as what these independent players put out. They put out a lot of video, they are more agile, they are more interesting, for example on entertainment. But surveys have shown that even when people go online, the news they trust most is what is put out by established and professional media organizations, not by bloggers alone. There are some good bloggers, but earlier there was a lot of hype and enthusiasm about bloggers, and some people have made their name in it. They've done a good job, but today that is in decline. People are, even young people who go online, who do not read printed newspapers, rely more on, this is what the research shows, what newspapers put out. But the problem is, they go all over the place. They don't go to one single source. So often they will not recall where they're in. Even you may not. You read it somewhere, but you won't remember where you read it, which is different from how people got their news in the past. So next time you read online, pay attention to the source. What is that source? Whether you could go back to the source, whether you think that source is trustworthy.
Credible source or not?
Yeah. And also there are some sources which give more news than others. Some websites or apps and so on. But this idea of just spending 5 minutes on news makes people more ignorant, less well informed than their counterparts in the previous generation. And that's why there is a great deal of superficiality in public discussion, which people will say, I read it in the HINDU and they read it in the Times of India or the Indian Express or in a Tamil newspaper. They pick it up. They are very vague about this. You've got to be more, even readers must be more precise. Because if you're a scholar or if you're a professional, you should be able to record. You can't say, I heard a rumor or this is my general impression. So it's also your responsibility to be more precise.
Thank you so much.